Jabal Uhud, the mountain that loved the Prophet, emotional Battle of Uhud story. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Jabal Uhud, the blessed mountain in Madinah, stands witness to one of the most emotional chapters in Islamic history, the Battle of Uhud. This video tells the heartfelt story of courage, sacrifice, faith, and the deep love between Rasool Allah and his Ummah. Walk with us through the battlefield, the slopes of Uhud, the Archer's Hill, and the place where the Martyrs of Uhud rest. Let your heart feel the sincerity, bravery, and lessons that changed the course of history. Topics covered: History of Jabal Uhud, Story of the Battle of Uhud, Archer's Hill, Jabal al-Rumat, Story of the Martyrs, Shuhada Uhud, Emotional Islamic Reminders. Halal Islamic soft background, green heart. May Allah fill our hearts with the spirit of Uhud, patience, faith, and trust. Ameen. Bell engagement lines, subscribe, like, share, comment. If this video touched your heart, thumbs up like the video. Repeat button share with your family and friends. Speech balloon comment. Labaik ya Rasool Allah. Push pin subscribe for more Islamic history, Madinah journeys and spiritual content. The sacred entry of Jabal Uhud. This blessed maiden holds the echoes of courage, sacrifice, and unwavering faith. Here, every stone reminds us of the companions who stood firm for Islam. As you step forward, let your heart soften, your eyes reflect gratitude, and your soul remember the lessons of Uhud. You are now standing at a place where faith was tested, hearts were purified, and history was written with courage. This maiden carries the footsteps of the Prophet and the sacrifices of his blessed companions. Breeze here whispers their bravery, every stone holds a memory of devotion. As you walk forward, let your heart reflect, let your soul feel the weight of their legacy, and let this moment bring you closer to Allah. As you step into this blessed maiden, feel the weight of history beneath your feet. Feel the silence that still carries the echoes of sacrifice. Feel the breeze that whispers the bravery of Hamza and the steadfastness of the believers. Let every moment here awaken gratitude within you. Let every glance towards Uhud remind you of loyalty, patience, and trust in Allah. Walk gently, for this land holds stories that shape the Ummah. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate. Jabal-e-Uhud, a mountain unlike any other on this earth. A mountain that stands in Madinah al-Munawwara as a witness to love, sacrifice, courage, and loyalty. When the breeze touches its red stones, it carries the memory of one of the greatest battles in Islamic history, Ghazwa-e-Uhud. Close your eyes, feel the silence of the morning in the maiden-e-Uhud. Imagine the footsteps of the Sahaba, walking with the messenger of Allah, heart steady, faith firm, and trust complete. The year is 3 AH. The Quraysh march from Makkah with an army of 3,000 warriors, determined to extinguish the light of Islam. But the believers, only around 700, stand with unshakable faith behind Rasulullah. The Prophet assigns 50 archers under the command of Hazrat Abdullah ibn Jubair, on the small hill, the famous Jabal-e-Rumat. His words echo through time: do not leave your position, no matter what happens. Victory or loss, your place is here. The battlefield is set, the hearts tremble, yet they are courageous. The believers march forward. Hazrat Hamza, the lion of Allah. Hazrat Ali, the sword of Allah. Young companions full of iman, ready to give their lives for the messenger. The clash begins. The dust rises. The sound of metal fills the air. The believers, with the help of Allah, overpower the enemy. Victory is near, hope fills their hearts. But a test awaits. Some archers, seeing the Quraysh retreat and spoils of war scattered, believe the battle is over. They descend from their positions, despite the command of the Prophet. Only a few remain with Abdullah ibn Jubair, Khalid ibn al-Walid, then still a non-Muslim, sees the gap. With his cavalry, he swiftly attacks from behind. The believers become surrounded. Chaos spreads. The battlefield shifts in moments. Arrows rain, swords strike, companions fall one by one. Rasulullah himself is injured, his blessed tooth broken, his face wounded. The companions shield him with their bodies, crying, "Rasulullah, my life for your life." In this chaos, one of the greatest heroes of Uhud is martyred, Hazrat Hamza ibn Abdul Muttalib, Ra. The martyr of Uhud, the beloved uncle of the Prophet. His sacrifice fills the mountain with sorrow that lives until today. Yet, even in this moment of pain, Allah reveals peace. The Prophet climbs toward the mountain. He turns and says, Uhud is a mountain that loves us, and we love it. And truly, Jabal-e-Uhud still stands today with that same love, its stones carrying the tears of the companions, its earth carrying the blood of the martyrs. As you walk in this blessed valley, you are not just seeing stones and sand, you are walking on a battlefield written by Allah's decree. You are standing where angels descended, where Iman was tested, where loyalty was proven, where the Ummah learned that victory comes only through obedience to Allah and His Messenger. Uhud teaches us, strength is not in numbers. Victory is not in weapons. Honor is not in worldly success. True victory lies in obedience, sacrifice, and faith. Today, when pilgrims stand before the graves of the Shuhada-e-Uhud, Mus'ab ibn Umair, Ra, Hamza, Ra, and many others, their hearts soften. They whisper du'as. They remember that Islam did not reach us easily. It reached us through tears, sacrifices, and blood. May Allah make our hearts firm like the hearts of the companions. May He allow us to walk in the footsteps of Uhud's martyrs. And may He gather us with Rasool Allah in Jannah, just as these blessed souls were gathered with Him in Uhud. This is Uhud. This is the mountain of love. This is the battlefield of sacrifice. And this is where the story of faith was written forever. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim, in the blessed city of Madinah, at the foothills of the towering Mount Uhud, there stands a small mound, silent, humble, but carrying the weight of one of the greatest lessons in Islamic history. It is known today as Jabal-e-Rumat, the Hill of the Archers. Desert wind SFX, footsteps, echoes of history, Madinah, the city of peace. The city of the Prophet, the city that witnessed love, loyalty, sacrifice, and divine tests. Every grain of dust here remembers footsteps of the Sahaba. Every breeze carries the dua of the Prophet. And among these blessed lands, the plain of Uhud stands like a timeless battlefield. A reminder for every believer until the end of time. But in this vast open field, there is one place that changed the destiny of the battle. One place that carries a message deeper than any sword strike. One place that teaches us obedience, trust, and humility. Jabal-e-Rumat. Why the Battle of Uhud happened 1 year after the victory of Badr. The Quraysh of Makkah could not tolerate their defeat. Their pride was wounded, their arrogance broken, and they marched toward Madinah with a mighty army, seeking revenge. 3,000 soldiers, 700 armor-clad warriors, 200 horses, and an army of hatred, burning with fury. But the believers of Madinah, though fewer in number, though equipped with far less weapons, had something the Quraysh did not. They had the messenger of Allah among them. The strategy of the Prophet, Rasool Allah, examined the field of Uhud with deep wisdom. On one side stood the massive mountain, Uhud itself. On the other, open land where enemy horses could easily charge. To protect the Muslims from being attacked from behind, the Prophet chose a small mound, a hill barely 30 to 40 steps high. This was Jabal-e-Rumat. Rasool Allah appointed 50 expertly skilled archers on this hill. He gave them a command so clear, so firm, so unambiguous, that none could mistake its meaning. He said, "Do not leave your position. Even if you see birds eating our bodies, stay here, no matter what happens." These words were not strategy alone. They were revelation-guided direction, a divine test wrapped in obedience. The battle begins. The morning sun rose over Uhud. Swords were drawn, shields lifted, hearts trembled with fear and faith. The battle began with intense combat. Muslims, by the mercy of Allah, pushed the enemy back. The Quraysh began retreating, dropping their flags, losing formation. Victory seemed to shine on the faces of the believers. The air filled with cries of Allahu Akbar, and the enemy began to flee. But down below, the archers on Jabal-e-Rumat watched something unfold. They saw the Quraysh soldiers abandoning their goods. Shields, swords, armor, camels loaded with wealth. Some archers felt joy, others felt the battle was over. Some said, "Victory is certain. The Prophet has won." Another replied, "Why should we stay here when the battle is finished? Let us collect the spoils." But their leader, Abdullah ibn Jubair, repeated the command. Remember the order of the Prophet. Do not leave your positions. Some obeyed, many did not. 40 archers came down, only 10 remained on the hill. And destiny shifted. Khalid ibn Walid's strategy, among the Quraysh, was a young warrior. Not yet Muslim, but brilliant in strategy. His name, Khalid ibn al-Walid. He was waiting, watching, searching for a weakness. And then, he saw it. The hill was empty. Or at least, nearly empty. He charged with his cavalry. Swift like a desert storm, sharp like lightning, he curved around the battlefield, striking from behind, exactly from the direction the archers were meant to protect. The Muslims below, caught in the middle, found themselves attacked from two sides. Confusion filled the battlefield. Dust rose so thick that one could hardly breathe. Shields clattered, swords clashed, cries of pain echoed across Uhud. The moment of discipline turned into a moment of disaster. The turning point, a moment that shook the Ummah, as Khalid's cavalry struck from behind. The Quraysh regrouped from the front. A trap tightened around the Muslims. Enemies got so close to the Prophet that they tried to reach him. Some Sahaba shielded him with their bodies. Some fell at his feet. Some fought until the last breath. The Prophet himself was struck. His helmet was crushed against his blessed face. Blood flowed. He fell into a small pit. The cry spread like fire. Muhammad has been killed. The hearts of believers shattered. Legs trembled. Voices broke. Some dropped their swords. Some fled into the mountains in grief. But the Prophet, alive, wounded, whispered, "To me, O servants of Allah. Come to your Prophet." The courage of the Sahabah. Around him stood giants of faith. Mus'ab ibn Umair, Talha ibn Ubaidullah, Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, Amara, Abu Dujana, They fought like lions around the messenger of Allah. Some lost limbs. Some lost their lives, but none let the enemy reach him. This was love. This was sacrifice. This was loyalty greater than life. The lesson of Jabal Uhud. The battle did not end in total defeat. But it did not end in the victory the Muslims first tasted. It ended with the greatest lesson Allah wanted to teach his Ummah. Obedience, even when victory seems certain. Obedience, even when your heart feels something else. Obedience, even when your intellect suggests another path. Because obedience to the Prophet is obedience to Allah himself. The aftermath, when the battle was over, when dust settled, when the martyrs lay peacefully on the ground, the Prophet climbed Jabal Uhud. He looked at the place where the command was broken, and said nothing. Because the silence of Uhud speaks louder than 1,000 words. Closing, the message for today, when you stand at Jabal Uhud, you don't just see a small hill. You see a reminder of responsibility, a lesson of obedience, a warning against pride, and a call to trust Allah even when victory seems near. Uhud was not a defeat. It was a training, a divine lesson, a spiritual awakening, and through it, Allah purified the hearts of the believers and strengthened the Ummah forever. Let every believer who visits this sacred land remember, victory is never in numbers. Victory is never in weapons. Victory is in obedience. Victory is in patience. Victory is in trusting Allah completely. Uhud lives on, Jabal Uhud stands still, and the story continues to teach hearts across centuries. In the blessed land of Madinah, at the foot of Jabal Uhud, lies a resting place filled with honor and sacrifice. The Maqbara of Sayyid Shuhada, Amir Hamza, and the noble 70 martyrs of the Battle of Uhud. Close your eyes and listen. Here, every grain of sand carries the memory of courage. This is where hearts were tested, where faith stood firm, and where the companions of Rasool Allah gave their lives defending Islam. Amir Hamza, the Lion of Allah, the one whose takbir shook the battlefield, rests here in eternal peace. Around him lie the brave Shuhada, each one a shining star, each one a chapter of sacrifice. When you walk through this blessed Maqbara, you are walking through history, through devotion, through love, through unshakable iman. May Allah grant us hearts that honor their legacy, and footsteps that follow their path. Here, the wind whispers their stories, and every stone stands as a witness to their sacrifice. This is not just a graveyard. This is a garden of courage, a field watered by the tears of the believers, and a place where the hearts of the faithful come to remember. Amir Hamza, the uncle of Rasulullah, the Lion of Allah, the warrior whose bravery echoed across Arabia. rests here in eternal peace. His body may lie still, but his legacy roars louder than ever. He stood firm on the battlefield of Uhud, defending the messenger of Allah with every breath, every strike, every heartbeat. Around him are the honored martyrs, companions who fought not for fame, not for wealth, not for the world, but purely for Allah, for faith, for truth. 70 shining souls, each one a star guiding the Ummah towards steadfastness. As you walk through the Maqbara, you feel the weight of their devotion. The air becomes still, your heart becomes soft, and your soul remembers what true sacrifice means. These were the men who stood when others fled. These were the believers who tasted death with a smile, knowing that Jannah was their destination. The earth here is blessed. The sand remembers every drop of blood shed for Islam. The breeze carries the echo of their takbir. And Uhud itself, the mountain loved by the Prophet, stands like a silent guardian watching over the martyrs it embraced. In the sacred city of Madinah, just beyond the shadow of Jabal Uhud, lies one of the most heart-touching places in Islamic history, the Maqbara of Emir Hamza, Ra, and the noble 70 Shuhada of Uhud. The earth here is blessed. The sand remembers every drop of blood shed for Islam. The breeze carries the echo of their takbir. And Uhud itself, the mountain loved by the Prophet, stands like a silent guardian watching over the martyrs it embraced. O Allah, send your mercy upon Emir Hamza, Ra, upon Mus'ab ibn Umair, Ra, and upon every shaheed who rests here. Make our hearts firm upon their path, and allow our footsteps to follow their love for you and your messenger. Bell engagement lines, subscribe, like, share, comment. If this video touched your heart, thumbs up like the video. Repeat button share with your family and friends. Speech balloon comment. Labbaik ya Rasool Allah. Push pin subscribe for more Islamic history, Madinah journeys and spiritual content. Islamic history, the Battle of Uhud. This video tells the heartfelt story of courage, sacrifice, faith, and the deep love between Rasool Allah and his Ummah. Bell engagement lines, subscribe, like, share, comment. If this video touched your heart, thumbs up like the video. Repeat button share with your family and friends. Speech balloon comment. Labbaik ya Rasool Allah. Push pin subscribe for more Islamic history, Madinah journeys and spiritual content. Thanks for watch. See more video. Ameen.